I know what you're thinking when you hear Oklahoma. Tornadoes, cowboys, cows roaming the street, and well, grass. But I'm here to show you there is so much more to Oklahoma. We have a bustling nightlife scene, thriving businesses, and much, much more. This is Everything Oklahoma.
The chicken fried steak was not born in Texas. Now, there is no dish more southern, no dish more tied to cowboy culture, to cattle country, to the wide open plains of the American Southwest. And for as long as most people can remember, one state has claimed it as their own. Texas. Of course, it's Texas. It's always Texas. They put it on their menus with a little Lone Star next to it. They've been telling us this story for so long and so loud that the whole country just, believed them. But here's the thing about Texas and the chicken fried steak. They are wrong. The real origin of America's greatest comfort food leads straight to Oklahoma. And today, we are setting the record straight with history. Of course, I came with the receipts and with the best chicken fried steak you've ever seen in your life. So let's go. Now, before we get into the Oklahoma side of this, let's be fair and lay out exactly what Texas claims. Because if you're going to win a food argument, you've got to know the other team's playbook. Okay, picture this. Texas points to a man named Jimmy Don Perkins, a cook at a cafe in La Mesa, Texas, who allegedly invented the dish sometimes around 1911, give or take. Now, the story goes that a young cowboy ordered a steak, and Perkins, not wanting to waste a tough, thin cut of beef, breaded it and fried it the way that you'd fried chicken. And a legend was born. Now, okay, look, it's a good story. It's a simple story. And La Mesa, I think I'm saying it right, La Mesa has leaned into it hard.
Now, although it's not the official state dish, of course, chili is. The Texas State Legislature passed a resolution in 2011 declaring La Mesa the legendary home of the chicken fried steak, and the city has hosted a massive annual festive in its honor ever since.
Now, we're happy for Texas, we really are. But there's just one little problem with all of this. There's no source of documentation of Jimmy Don Perkins or his cafe from 1911. The story was first recorded in 1974, over 60 years after the fact, by a food writer who heard it secondhand. And by that point, chicken fried steak had already been on Oklahoma menus for decades. Sorry, Texas, that's not evidence. That's called a legend. And Oklahoma has something Texas doesn't: actual receipts. Now, for all of my older people watching the channel, you may not be up with the newest lingo. Receipts are what us younger people, I say younger people and I'm 40, but it's what the younger people say when you are making proof of something and you bring the documentation with you. No legends over here. Now, to understand where chicken fried steak really comes from, you have to understand what Oklahoma was in the late 1800s. Oklahoma Territory was one of the most diverse cultural crossroads in the American West. You had cattle drivers pushing longhorns from Texas on the Chisholm Trail. You had Native American nations with deep food traditions across the territory. You had African Americans bringing that African flair in with their food culture. And you had waves of European immigrants, particularly German and Austrian settlers, pouring into central Oklahoma after the land runs of 1889 and 1893. Now, even though each group was super important, those German and Austrian settlers are who we are going to focus on, because they brought with them a dish called Wiener Schnitzel. It's still around today. A lot of people cook it. A thin cut of veal pounded flat, breaded, and pan-fried. Does that sound familiar to you? Now, in the cattle country of Oklahoma Territory, veal wasn't always available, but beef was everywhere. Specifically, tough, lean cuts from the longhorns being driven through the territory. So Oklahoma cooks did what Oklahomans have always done. They made it work with what they had. They took that schnitzel technique. They applied it to a beef round steak, one of the cheapest, toughest cuts available. They seasoned it the way that cattle country folks season things: black pepper, salt, a little cayenne pepper. And they finished it with something that was purely and distinctly American, nay, I say Oklahoman. They put a cream gravy made from the pan drippings. That last part, that delicious, beautiful cream gravy, that's the detail that separates chicken fried steak from every European cousin that it has. Let me tell you, nobody in Vienna is sopping up cream gravy over their schnitzel. That was Oklahoma, my loves. That was cattle country, and that was born right here. Now, there are such things as food historians who have actually traced the documented paper trail, newspaper mentions, restaurant menus, regional cookbooks, consistently find references to this dish in Oklahoma Territory and early Oklahoma statehood records that predate any Texas documentation by a significant margin. We can go ahead and drop the mic. I feel like I've proved my point right here. But here's the point I've been looking forward to, because knowing history is great, but eating the chicken fried steak, well, that's the whole point. Now, Oklahoma has some of the finest examples of this dish anywhere in the world. And I mean that seriously. Not as hometown pride, I'm an Oklahoma girly, of course, but as a genuine food statement. If you want to eat chicken fried steak the way it was meant to be eaten, Oklahoma is where you go. Don't believe me? Okay. So Cattleman's Steakhouse in Oklahoma City, historic Stockyard City District, has been serving some version of this dish since 1910. 1910. How have they been serving it since 1910 if Texas invented it in 1911? That's before Texas even filed their claim. It's the kind of place, if you are not familiar with Cattleman's, I love it there, but it's the kind of place where the booths have seen more Oklahoma history than most museums have. But we don't have to stop there, because down in Ardmore, you've got joints where locals have been ordering the same plate that their grandparents ordered. Or we can go up to Enid, right in the heart of the original German settlement country. By the way, there are diners serving chicken fried steak that would make a food critic from New York go ahead and put his fork down and wonder what he's been doing with his life. Now, what makes Oklahoma chicken fried steak different isn't just the history. It's the purpose behind it, the intention. In Oklahoma, this isn't just a novelty item from a menu designed to look, what's the word they always use? Rustic. It's not a $28 elevated version with a truffle gravy. No, chicken fried steak is a meal that was built for working people, for cowboys who needed calories to last throughout the days, for families stretching a tough cut of beef into something extraordinary. For anyone who understands that the best food in the world was almost always invented by someone who didn't have much, but they made something unforgettable anyway. Okay, so let's just say it plainly. I'm not biased, I swear I'm not. Texas is a great state, but big skies, good people. I know some good people in Texas. Genuinely excellent barbecue. I love their food. I will give them that all day long. Texas barbecue is its own religion, and I respect it completely. But chicken fried steak? Baby, that ain't Texas. That's Oklahoma. The real story behind it gets lost. The German immigrants who adapted their schnitzel technique to Oklahoma cattle country gets totally erased. The cooks in Stockyard City who were doing this before the Model T Ford even existed gets forgotten. The Oklahoma women who perfected the cream gravy in a cast iron skillet over wood fires gets completely written out of history. That's what happens when Texas takes credit for something that isn't theirs. The actual origin, the actual people, disappear into someone else's mythology. And we, as Oklahomans, have spent way too long being humble about what we've given this country. Let me call the roll call. We gave America chicken fried steak. We gave America the onion burger. We gave American Garth Brooks. We gave America Blanche from the Golden Girls. We gave America more of Route 66 than any other state. We gave America the land run, the single most dramatic day of Western expansion in the history of this country. But what you're not gonna do is take credit for the steak that we invented. So I want to tell you, you may think I'm crazy going on and on about chicken fried steak. I have done a lot of research on this. And I want to tell you something. It has nothing to do with Texas, and everything to do with why the dish matters. Chicken fried steak is Oklahoma's comfort food in the truest sense of the word. I'm not talking about the cute little comfort food that everybody's talking about on TikTok, girl dinners. No. I mean comfort food in the original sense. Food that got people through hard times. The Dust Bowl hit Oklahoma harder than almost anywhere on the face of this earth. Families lost farms that they built from nothing. Towns emptied out. People had to make do with whatever they had. And what they had, more often than not, was a really tough cut of beef, cast iron pan, and the knowledge that their grandmamas passed down about how to make it into something worth sitting down at the table for. Chicken fried steak fed Oklahoma through its darkest chapter. And on the other side of that darkness, it became something more than a meal. It became a symbol of what Oklahomans can do when our back is against the wall. Which is take whatever you got, no matter how little it is, and make the best it can possibly be. Share it with whoever's at the table. That's not a Texas story. That's an Oklahoma story, and it's one worth telling. If this video made you even a little bit more proud to be from Oklahoma, or made you hungry for the chicken fried steak, which honestly, both outcomes are a win. Hit that subscribe button right now. Everything Oklahoma is here every week, digging up the stories, the history, the food, and the hidden gems that make this state one of the most underrated places in America. And we are nowhere near done. Not to give you too many spoilers, but coming up, we're going to talk about the Oklahoma onion burger, another Oklahoma invention that accidentally changed American food forever. We're going to take you to Pitcher, the ghost town the government tried to erase. We have so many things coming up. So subscribe, ring-a-ling that bell, and drop a comment below. Tell me where you get your chicken fried steaks in Oklahoma. I eat a lot of them, but I know I haven't tried all of them, so I'm going to take some of your advice. I want every recommendation that you've got. The more specific, the better. Hole-in-the-wall diners are worth extra points. This is Everything Oklahoma, and I'll see you in the next one.